Hello, and welcome to the VideoCoin beta launch of the NFT Marketplace app. We're excited to share with you today the updates and features we have launched. And today we'll be demoing the app, which is open source and available to all through the VideoCoin GitHub. We'll go over the features available with beta and do a walkthrough step by step to see how you could get started building your own marketplace with resilient NFTs. I'll do a quick recap for those who are new to VideoCoin or are interested in learning about beta and how we got here. In April, we announced our work with Filecoin to architect the open source platform, allowing anybody to build marketplaces with resilient NFTs. In July, Alpha was released and launched the capabilities to create and integrate marketplaces for minting, storing, and trading. Now at beta, release now allows projects the access to the end-to-end solution needed to launch better marketplaces places with stronger and versatile NFTs. And now they can do it faster than ever before. After the walkthrough, we'll open the floor to questions you may have with the team. I'll drop a link in our chat for signing up if you're interested in participating in beta and would like to talk to the team about building with us. I'll introduce the team. We'll be joined today by Devajuta Gat, CTO of LivePlanet. Also with us in chat are a number of our developers working with the NFT Marketplace. Deva, I'll turn it over to you. And thank you all for joining.
Okay, looks like I'm live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. I just so that I'm clear, I'm waiting for Jason to let me know that he can hear me because we're live and we have a setup that's quite complex. So Jason, can you hear me? All right, great. I see that as a yes. Okay, so today I am so pumped up and excited to be doing this live demo and beta announcement with all of you for our NFT Marketplace Beta. And we have a super packed agenda today, but first I want to start off with thanking the VideoCoin community. We've been on this journey for a long time, and then a lot of you have been with us from the beginning and cheering us on as we build and go through this complex landscape of building a useful product that we hope will impact a lot of lives and make a lot of things for the better, if not right now, in the future. So huge thank you for all of you for staying on with us, and also welcome to all the new members who have joined our communities because of our latest NFT work. So I'll go over with a quick recap, and this is a tech recap. We'll see how everything's working, what we got launched in alpha, and then we'll jump right into the new features because there's a ton of stuff that I want to talk to you about. So let us start off with a recap. So, if you see building a marketplace in 2021, let's say you wanted to build an NFT marketplace, there's three major problems you'll face. One, it is extremely complex because you have to build an NFT marketplace from scratch. You have to take open source components from various places, stitch them all together, manage wallets, manage the infrastructure, manage banks, and manage gas fees, and a lot of security features that you need to get done right. So there's a lot of things that you need to get right, and that is an extremely complex process. And not just that, but like the NFTs that you see in the market are usually media files that are stored in a centralized storage. So like, let's say the domain went down, or if the storage server went down, or if the company that was issuing the NFT went down, then your NFT goes down with it. And these NFTs are also super expensive, not just because of the development costs involved in getting an NFT marketplace up and running, but also the gas fees, right? Like, I mean, on any day where Ethereum is close to $3,000, by the time you make a single transaction to even buy an NFT, gets super expensive, and minting an NFT is even more expensive. It gets to the range of $20 to $30 where per NFT to just mint it. It gets prohibitively expensive as soon as you're trying to mint a lot of a lot of NFTs quickly. So our solution is simple. So we have a fully functional NFT marketplace that you can install. Right out of the box, you get a fully functional marketplace with everything that you need to get started and create your own NFT marketplace. So you can mint NFTs, you can store them on Filecoin, you can provide proof of ownership, and overall, this easily saves you 8 to 12 months of development time. Let's say you just were to start right now. By the time you get to where we are right now, you'll need at least 12 months of work, is what we honestly think. And not just that, like the NFTs that we create, the media files are resilient. And they're resilient because of many reasons. But primarily, we construct a proof of ownership for that NFT, which ties the NFT irrevocably to the person who's presently holding that NFT. And also that file, the media asset that's underlying the NFT, is written on IPFS and archived onto Filecoin. So again, you can, even if the issuing entity that issued the NFT for you is long gone, the media asset is designed to stay on NFT on Filecoin for a long time because of the way we store it on there using proof of ownership. And last but not the least, the whole thing, because these NFTs can optionally land on, because these NFTs can land on VideoCoin network or optionally on another network, you can get gas fees at a fraction of the cost. So like, let's say on our blockchain, VideoCoin network has a native blockchain. The gas fees is 1,000 times cheaper than what you would see on Ethereum mainnet. And on expensive days, it can get even to 5,000 times cheaper. It's because of the way our blockchain is architected. The gas fees are capped, and also like the amount of transactions that and throughput that the blockchain can process is way higher because of the different type of architecture we have. And not only that, but like the storage that you get on Filecoin. So there's two types of storage we offer. So like if your NFT is up to 32 gigabytes big, it can land on Filecoin network and live there for free. If it's bigger than that, then you'll have to take the cost for it. But then even at that point, it's still the cost of storing on Filecoin is close to 0.38%. In fact, it's gotten lower from the time I made these slides. It's really, really cheap to store on Filecoin. So like you can store you can mint on our blockchain, store on Filecoin, and get a fully functional experience out of the box in a very fast and very affordable way. So that is where we were at Alpha. A lot of these things you guys have seen in some of our previous videos. Now comes the exciting parts. So the new features, like there's like a whole ton of new features I'm going to show you guys today. But we start off with something super exciting, that's mixed media NFT. So we started with video. The project started off as a video NFT project, but then we realized that the technology that we have built, the proof of ownership and the complex mechanisms that we've built can be easily applied to other types of NFTs. And we didn't even, so we expanded our platform capabilities to go beyond video. So it can do video, audio, MP3 files, wave files, text files, PDF files, 3D files, like you have 3D assets. You can even upload zip files, like you can take a bunch of files, zip it up, and then upload it as an NFT. You can basically upload any sort of binary file. So any binary file that you have, you want to create an NFT out of it, you can actually do that using our software. And we just didn't stop there, right? Like we just didn't stop at the point where, okay, we can add mixed media NFTs, where these NFTs have different types of media capabilities. But we also took it a step further, where you can actually mix and match these media types in the NFT. So like, let's say you have, let's say you want to make a NFT with a video and an audio and a text file. You can go ahead and do it. You can, if you want to have multiple videos and one audio file. So the limitless combinations that you can achieve through new mixed media NFTs is only up to your creativity. So there's a lot of things you can do. And the biggest breakthrough innovation that we've done from alpha to beta is something that is super cool. Nobody else has this. Is we've done permissioned NFTs. So like these permissioned NFTs, the easiest way to understand a permissioned NFT is like a purchase to unlock NFT. So if presently you can see an NFT media asset. Let's say you go to any marketplace, you can see the NFT, you can see the full asset, and you can. There's no difference between an NFT owner and a person who doesn't own that NFT. So that changes with the way we've implemented it. Let's say when you create the NFT, you can select which parts of the NFT is visible, which parts of the NFT is not visible, and after you publish the NFT, the people who are just viewers of the NFT can only see parts of the NFT that you deem are public and anybody can see, and the stuff that are locked are not seen until you purchase it. And we'll see those demos in just a bit, but this opens up a brand new era of NFT use cases, and I'll talk about some of them in just a bit. But we're so excited, and so are the customers that we're pitching this exciting product to. They're all really excited about the kinds of use cases that they can implement with a permissioned NFT, which is like a purchase to unlock NFT. Powering this innovation, this breakthrough innovation, is we've achieved something that has been done before, which is we've done DRM for Web3 content. So like we've figured out a way to do on-chain DRM, on-chain rights management for NFTs. So Videocoin Network does a lot of the hard work. So let's say when you upload the NFT, the Videocoin Network does a lot of work, prepares that so that Web3 implementations like MetaMask can easily power a DRM within the browser. So you don't have to ever leave the browser, or you don't have to leave your MetaMask wallet to be able to access and then go through this DRM. So I'll show you how it works, but it is also powered by our breakthrough in AES CTR encryption speeds. So a lot of the encryption that needs to happen on video files happens on the Videocoin network through the workers. And these, when the network update hits, the workers will do all of the encryption, and we have implemented certain ways to get that to get the encryption work way faster than it was possible in the past. And we've also implemented extremely complex key rotation mechanisms. We'll go over that in just a bit. But for those who are technically inclined to understand what we do, when we forge an NFT, right? Like, so there is several steps that goes on when you forge an NFT, and we call it forging because there's a slight difference between forging and minting, because minting an NFT is just a part of the whole NFT experience. So we start off with storing the asset, right? Like the asset that you upload, it gets stored on Filecoin, and then from there we create the metadata. From the metadata, we create and store the DRM keys. So like the DRM keys are generated and stored using your public keys. So like, let's say the wallet that the creator had an account that he's using to create the NFT. We use your already available public keys to create and store those DRM keys. So what this does is, like, everything that we've done is standards based. So there's really no difficulty anywhere along the path for anybody to adopt these NFTs, DRM'd NFTs properly. And from there, we do the forging process where we encrypt and transmit the files. So like depending on where the file is expected to land, the forging happens, and then it transmits. So like we presently support 721, ERC 721, and ERC 1155. And these tokens can actually be minted on the Videocoin blockchain, or with an additional API call, you can actually land on the marketplace blockchain of your choice. So, but one thing that happens only on the Videocoin blockchain is the rich NFT that is powered, the multimedia assets, the multi-assets, the rights management, all of that complex NFT parts will have to land on the Videocoin blockchain, and we'll see some of those things in the reasons for that in a bit. But after that, it doesn't end there though. Like when the NFT changes hands, it needs to change hands such that when let's say I created an NFT and then I sold it to somebody else. So now the keys that are publicly accessible are no longer the right keys, right? Like, because the public keys of the owner has changed. So now every time an NFT is sold or changes hands, we have to re-encrypt it. We have to redo the whole forging process. So we have implemented oracles that can track and catch NFTs in flight, and then when actual transaction happens between one hand to another, we catch the transaction, redo the encryption, and then rewrite all of the metadata so that the NFT is a living thing because of the work the Videocoin network does on it. Then there's a few other steps around the key servers and how it interfaces into the secondary markets. So a lot of these you'll see in the demos, but it's extremely detailed and intricate process that we have abstracted out and simplified to a level where anybody can just directly use it. So the next thing we've done is support for auctions. So like auctions is the one that we have implemented, it's highly efficient asynchronous auctions. I'll show you demos where, and you'll see how it works. But a buyer and seller can finish a buyer can bid on a NFT asynchronously, and then a seller can accept bids from that buyer asynchronously. They don't have to be online. And when the seller accepts the auction, there's an atomic match, and then it happens and the protocol takes care of all of the complex stuff that needs to happen behind the scenes. And also we have implemented support for USD payments, especially the stablecoin payments and for any ERC20. So this is kind of a one step before we get to full fiat support, just like we have on Videocoin network. We have a full fiat implementation where you can buy and you can purchase work on the Videocoin network using standard credit cards. But as a step before that, we now support USD stablecoins, basically any ERC20 that can be used for transaction. You can use it. And one other thing which seems to be a small thing, but is actually one of the most requested features, is like service fees. Like whenever there is a buyer and seller in between, when a seller sells it to somebody, there needs to be a fee cut for the marketplace. So the marketplace fees is something we've implemented. So overall, there's a lot of stuff that we've built. This is a summary of all the features that we've put in now. Mixed media NFTs, multi-asset NFTs, on-chain rights management, auctions. We're working on a hosted solution. We have a fully functional NFT marketplace, and MetaMask integration, which some of these you've already seen. Web protocol, OpenSea integration, marketplace APIs, and then all of this wrapped up with a nice proof of ownership. So we'll go with the demos now, and I'm going to do something slightly different this time, where I'm going to show you some use case. I'm going to talk to you about a use case, and then we'll go and implement that use case. So first one we'll do is like a permissioned NFT. So like let's assume that you have a piece of content that you want to create an NFT around, but then you only want to let some parts of it visible and some parts of it not. So I have pre-created one of the NFTs here. So we'll see this one. So this is something that I created using some popular Premier League footage. Obviously, I don't have rights on any of these things, but this is a beta demo. I'm just showing you using clips that I can get off of the internet. But obviously, when people create real NFTs, they will have rights for all of these things. So you see, as soon as I come to the NFT and see that it has multi-assets, right? Like it has not just one asset, but it has multiple assets. And the video here it's saying is purchase to unlock. So let me go and purchase this video. Just 1 second, I need to pull up my second. Okay, I got my private keys, so I can get back to transmitting, and I can connect this wallet. So right now, MetaMask is saying connect because I have a wallet. Like I'll connect with MetaMask wallet and I unlock it. As soon as I do that, you can see a decrypt request here. So this is the core of our implementation, right? Like as soon as I have my MetaMask wallet unlocked, I'm getting a decrypt request. This means that because I'm the one who created this NFT, MetaMask is asking me to give it permission to decrypt this NFT. So as soon as I hit decrypt, the video is immediately decrypted, and then you can see that it immediately starts playing back. And this is so powerful in so many different ways that we will see in some of the creation examples I'll show. But it is super seamless for people who are working and creating these NFTs, where part of it is locked and part of it is unlocked. So to show you that, because I'm the creator, I can see this, right? Like let's say I go to an incognito window and then do this and see the art. This is still unlocked, right? I'm the creator, and if I purchase this, then the lock will be opened and I can actually see the content. And that's what happened when I did the decrypt request on MetaMask. So let us now go a step further and create a new collectible. So in this case, we'll go through the next use case that I want to talk about, which is sell movies. So like, let's say you have a movie and you want to sell it, and you want to sell it as an NFT, right? So in this case, I have two videos here. So let's go to this demo here. So this is the new dashboard where you can create the permissioned NFTs. So as you see, there's two sections here. Like, one is the preview section, and it clearly states here that this content is visible to everyone. So anything you drop in the preview section is visible to everyone, and then it's visible in the NFT Marketplace. People can see it, so you can upload any number of files here. And per file, you have 32 GB that you can write. So let's say you have a very compelling movie, and then you want to upload a bunch of posters, a bunch of preview files. All of that you can upload right here. And then there's a content section which is locked, right? Like anything you upload into the content section, it's locked by default. But let's say you want to switch that off. There's also a method to do it. You can easily switch it off, and the whole NFT will be unlocked. There are certain use cases where this is useful, where depending on the marketplace, for example, you can use this in very powerful ways. But for this demo, I'm going to show where the visibility settings are locked by default. So I'm going to go and pick up, because this is a demo, I'm going to pick up a small file so that the uploads finish fast. So I uploaded a preview file here. I uploaded an image, and then I uploaded a video here. So what I did was, like, in the top for the preview, I gave it a static JPEG image. This is a video NFT, but in the preview, I just uploaded a static JPEG image. And then for the content, you can see that I've uploaded an actual MOV file, which is an MP3 file. And I've set the visibility lock this one, and I'm going to call this, I'm going to call it Twilight Sunset Demo. And then I'm going to give it a description, right? Like, so you'll see here that we have a royalties section. I'll talk about this in just a bit, but it is presently, you can ignore it for now. So, and in this case, I'm going to set a price. I'm going to just say 01, so I just have enough in the wallet. So at this point, this is the permissioned NFT. It is as easy as this to create a permissioned NFT, right? You just take content that you need to be public, upload it, drag and drop into one spot, and then take content that needs to be private, and then drag and drop it into another spot, and then hit create item. So now VideoCoin will start the 8-step process that I talked about, right? Like when you start, it starts uploading the media assets. It takes and it writes it into Filecoin. It starts creating the metadata, and then after the metadata is created, it starts creating the DRM keys, and then the DRM keys are associated with the file, and then that is done by taking the file and re-encrypting it to match the file. So like, you have a new DRM key, so you need to encode the file. So what I'm going to do, so it did all of those 8 steps, right? Like, of which now the minting step is the one thing that is remaining. So now I'm saying mint this one, and you can see on MetaMask I got a signature request, and I'm going to sign it. And as soon as I sign it, I'm done, right? Like the item is created. And then now, because I presently own this, I get a decrypt request, right? Like, so if I ignore the decrypt request, it will be a lock content. Okay, let's see here. So it's saying purchase to unlock, exactly what we wanted. Edition 1 of 1. If you can see the encryption details, the DRM keys are readily visible here, and you can use those encryption detail keys to establish your proof of ownership. You can see all of the data that was already written on Filecoin. So we've also implemented a super cool feature that is when we write data on IPFS, we also write data onto a centralized cloud. So this was a feature that we were asked to implement by a lot of people who are interested to use our platform. It's because while IPFS gateways are super cool, sometimes they tend to go down. So like if an IPFS gateway is down, it causes a cache miss where you just cannot display the content that you were trying to display. So as a caching layer and a caching mechanism, we've now replicated all of the content onto Google Cloud Storage or AWS S3. And you can configure which one you want to write to while you're installing the marketplace. But the file is now replicated and written in 2 different places. And you can see all of that information right here. So I created an NFT, and then now it's saying purchase to unlock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys just how the whole thing works. So I'm going to actually buy this NFT, right? So now this is I'm in the seller, this is my seller account. So I'm going to switch to a buyer account. Okay, so I'm going to go here and then see what arts we have here. Okay, so here the Twilight Sunset demo that I just now created is now available for sale. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect my wallet. Okay, it's going to ask me for a password. Okay, let me go pull up my password 1 second. Okay, great. We unlocked the wallet. Let me bring up my screen back. All right. So you can see now I have unlocked the wallet, right? Like this is a different profile, and I'm going to just buy this one. I'll show auctions and bidding in just a bit, but I've set an instant sale price on this. I come here, I cannot see the content saying purchase to unlock, but I can only see the preview. So I'm going to purchase now, and it's showing me what the price is, etc. So I'm going to continue, and then at this point, we start asking confirmations from MetaMask for us to do the atomic match. So like this is a protocol where the buyer and sellers are matched without them ever getting involved. So you remember when I created the NFT, I actually signed a sell order. The signature I provided to MetaMask was actually a sell order. So now that sell order was matched by this buy order without the seller ever getting involved. So like the match happened on its own, and then now the transfer is complete. So now I got the transfer and the transaction ID is minted, and now MetaMask is asking me for, I still cannot see it, but like MetaMask is now saying, hey, can you decrypt this thing? Can you give me permission to decrypt this? So as soon as I say decrypt, there you go. So now I can see the video. So it's as simple as this, right? Like the DRM keys that were created by the creator are no longer valid, and you can see that here. This is the creator, right? Like I was the greens to my left is the creator. I created this NFT, and if I refresh this, I can no longer see it because I don't own it, right? Like I sold the NFT to the buyer, and now the buyer can see it. So this is an extremely powerful, and as you can see, it's so simple to do something so complex. And all of the key rotations, the key management, the reforging of the NFT, reminting it, updating the metadata, and tying the keys and rotating them. All of that happened in such a seamless way that you didn't even know that it happened, and also happened really quickly. So I know I showed a small file here, but irrespective of the file size, the transactions mint and finish in very, very reasonable amount of time. The longest we've seen, like when you take a massive video file, we've seen the minting transaction take up to 30 to 45 seconds. but even that is really short compared to what we see in other marketplaces. Okay, so that was the cool use case I wanted to show, where like I could sell movies, right? Like this is exactly what I can do to sell a movie to my let's say I'm an independent movie maker, and I want to sell a movie to somebody who wants to buy it to view the movie, right? Like that's the use case you saw, and then somebody can create, like, let's say, a decentralized Netflix. Somebody can create a decentralized Gumroad, or somebody can create a decentralized um, uh, uh, Vimeo, or any pay-per-view video platform, right? Like this is the most powerful thing that people can do with this new purchase to unlock. There's a lot of platforms, like Patreon is one of the most popular platforms, where you got to go and purchase a certain subscription to unlock content, right? This takes it to a whole new level, because like now that content itself is tradable, right? Like let's say a Patreon content was created using our platform. The content itself can be traded on, and you can exchange that. Let's say I bought a bunch of content, a bunch of movies. I'm no longer, I no longer want to hold it. I'll sell it to somebody else, and that person now has the rights to view the content. Now the copyright management and other complex issues are a completely different topic. We're digging deep into that and analyzing different ways to manage it. But you see the leaving copyright aside, you see the power of something like this, where you can lock certain pieces of content, and you can unlock certain pieces of content and just sell it. And then when you sell it, it unlocks. And if you sell it again, it locks. So it's super seamless. And we will actually do a more deep technical dive on how we've actually achieved something so complex with one of my other engineers. We'll probably do it in a couple of weeks, but it is it is something very exciting for us. So the next one I want to show you guys is selling a music album, right? So for those of you who listen to hip hop, there was a band called Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, it's still around. Recently, they sold an album where the entire album was just sold to one person. So like, and then that use case became quite popular, and a lot of musicians are trying to create music albums. So just they sell it to one person. However, the way these music albums work today is, let's say you go and buy this music album, everybody can listen to the music, right? Like I upload a song, I upload a cover art, etc. Everybody can see and hear that music. So the question of ownership is very questionable here, right? Like, what do you own? If I own the NFT of that album, if everybody can anyway listen to the music, so there's no exclusivity, there's no way you can enforce some ownership until now. So let me go and create a music album where I'm gonna, this is a new collectible, right? I'm just gonna use a super popular music album cover. Again, most of you know what this album cover is. We'll let that upload, and then once that's done, I have a bunch of audio files here. Actually, 3 open source, royalty-free audio tracks. So I'm gonna drag and drop all of them right here. So now I'm gonna upload 3 different audio tracks into the platform, and then I've marked them as locked, right? So like now, as the seller, now I'm gonna give it a name. I'm gonna call it Videocoin Music the latest in blockchain music, whatever that means, right? Okay, so I've given it a name, and then we're gonna give it okay, this one's like, okay, all right, this one's actually even accepting bits. So why don't I show you the auction demo as well? So I'm gonna say, in this case, it's also saying what it wants to take. So take wrapped ether, right? So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna set the minimum bid as that, and then I'm gonna say create item. So I'm gonna start now. And then this one's actually, again, going through the same 8-step process, where we're taking the audio files, uploading it, and writing it into Filecoin, creating all the DRM keys, and then making the metadata, associating that all together, and then finally minting, and then getting the token ready for actual trading and associating the DRM with it. So let's just wait for the sell order to mint, and then once it's ready, I'll show you how the buyer sees this versus how the seller sees this. Since we anyway started off the auctions demo, right? Like we can talk a little bit about auctions. So auctions is one of the other new features that we have implemented, and then you can actually select. Okay, the upload and mint is done. So let me just start, and then now I'm going to sign a sell order like in the past. I'm going to sign it, and then it's done. So like now I open item, right? Again, as usual, I'm getting a decrypt request. So I'm going to decrypt it just so you guys can see that this is, I'm the owner, I created this one. And you can see the audio files here, and 3 audio files and the album cover. So, however, you know, if I was not the buyer, right? If I was not the seller, and I go back to home, now you see, I see a VideoCoin music album here, and I go view art, right? And I can actually not see this, right? Like I cannot see the content, and I have to purchase to unlock it. So you know, this is again a very powerful use case because it changes the whole definition of owning an NFT. So right now, I can publicly see that this album has in the description has a cover art. It has 3 different files here. But I only uploaded one file as an image here, right? I can easily upload a couple of files as a preview song. So like let's say I have the album and it has 12 songs, I can upload an image and 12 sample clips, and then lock the real files, the 12 full albums audios in the locked section of it. So I just cannot hear the whole songs until I purchase the NFT. So this again unlocks a brand new way of doing content and selling content through NFTs. Okay, so since we started talking about auctions, we'll do an auction demo, right? Like in this case, we did music, we did videos. I'm going to show you an auction demo with a document, and then let me pull up the auction demos. Okay. Somebody's pinging me on Slack, so let me just check and make sure nothing's wrong. One sec. All right. I just wanted to make sure nothing was wrong. It looks like nothing is wrong indeed. You know, like sometimes when we get on these live sessions, the mic stops working or something happens, and then there's no way for us to communicate. So there's a lot of use for Slack channels to get this one done. All right. So this is our I'm going to show you auction demo here. So like I said, for this auction, I'm going to use one of my favorite documents, which is the original VideoCoin white paper, right? So I'm going to go, and then this is a PDF of the VideoCoin white paper that we originally wrote, and then a preview, right? The preview of that is just the first page, so I can show you this. This is just the first page. I've created an image out of the PDF of the first page, and then this is the actual PDF, you know, like the original white paper we published in 2017. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and upload the preview into the image section, the preview section, right? Like where it is publicly visible. And then I'm going to take the actual PDF and then upload it here. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to give it a name called VideoCoin white paper. Okay, and then the original white paper. So I gave it a name and description. We'll talk about royalties in just a bit, but in this case, you know, I'm gonna select a ERC20 token. So this is different from what we've done, right? Like this is a deployment where auctions are supported. The deployments that I previously showed you had auctions switched off, and then that's the power of our platform. You can just accept native tokens or accept ERC20, and all of that is configurable when you install it. So I'm going to say what is my contract here. I have a let's assume it's some sort of a USD stablecoin, and then I set a bid for it, price for it, and then I say create item. So and then at this point I'm going to start mining it. So again, the 8-step process for creating the NFT, forging it, minting it, and all of that goes on. So it's done. So because it was a small file, it's done. I'm going to start now. And then now I'm going to sign my request, sign my listing on MetaMask, right? So like it's done. So like now it's done, and then the video coin white paper is now created. Now again, because I am the creator and I presently own the NFT, MetaMask is asking me to decrypt it. So let me just ignore this for a bit, and then I'm going to show you how it looks. So it's saying purchase to unlock, right? Like the video coin white paper here, it's the preview here that you can see, but for the actual download, you have to purchase it to unlock. If I purchase it here and then decrypt it, right, immediately you can see a download button here. So I can download it, and as soon as I download it, I can view the content, and then I'll show you it works. So there you go. This is the actual video coin white paper that I just now downloaded. So again, this is such a powerful use case because not only can you create an NFT using PDF files, that was really not that easy. You can also wrap it with the same type of DRM that you can wrap with videos. This again opens up a whole can of powerful use cases. So I'm going to not stop there, right? Like I'm going to show you guys how it works in, let's say I'm go back to the blue one here, right? So I'm going to purchase this one, right? So instead of, so let's see. All right, so you see this, it's saying purchase to unlock. So I'm going to purchase this. So, there's like 3 minutes left in this auction. So, if I go back to home, then you'll see there's like auction ending in 2 minutes because we have by default set the auction as a 5-minute thing. So I can actually do a demo. But you can set the auction timings to whatever you want. So I'm going to place a bid before the auction runs out. So it's saying quickly you have to minimum set a 0.2 USD bid. So I'm going to say, fine, I'm going to place a 0.2 USD bid, and I'm going to place a bid. So now it is bringing me a wallet request to sign the bid. So like explained, like the buyer and seller are done. Buyers and sellers don't have to be online. So like the buying and selling, the bids are done asynchronously. So when I signed my buy request, I signed it in such a way that like now the backend has queued that request, and there's also a sell request that the seller created and queued in the backend. So now, like if I go here, it says like, okay, there's a most recent bid placed by Plain Snout. That's like my automatically generated name. You see this is Plain Snout. So it's me. So the buyer is placed a bid here, okay, and then we have to run the clock out for me to finish up the demo. But in that meantime, I can tell you how the whole auction process went on. So when the seller, this is the seller, when the seller created the NFT, you saw the sign request that come up where he created a sell request, signed the transaction and submitted it to our backend. So the backend did not execute it, kept it in the queue. And then when the buyer came up and then he wanted to buy it, he signed the transaction, the raw transaction, and set it into the backend. So the backend is now presently holding both of those transactions in queue, waiting for the auction to end. So this auction will end in a minute. And when that happens, the seller can actually go and accept the offer. Presently, he can't see it because the auction's still on. This is me. This is the seller Ashrik, and we can confirm he's indeed the seller. Because Ashrik is the one who sold it, and then I am the buyer. Plain Snout, I placed a bid. I'm waiting for 38 seconds, etc. Right. So as soon as the auction's done, I'm back in the seller. Right. There's only 29 seconds left, so let's wait for that timer to run out. And then as soon as that happens, you'll be able to, and the seller will be able to accept or reject the bid that he accepted. So it's kind of important because in a marketplace where auctions are supported, you got to be in a spot where you can accept prices that work for you. If it doesn't work, then the creator should not be obliged to sell. So the auction's gonna run out in 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's done. So I'm gonna just refresh this page. So you can now see I'm the creator, and then now because I'm the creator, now you can suddenly see there's an accept bid. So now I've only demoed with one bid, but if there's multiple bids, all of them will show up here, and then you can accept one of them. So before I accept this bid, let me show you one more time. On the buyer, I don't have this, right? Like it's still saying bid placed. I placed the bid. If you see my profile, and if you go to my arts, I don't have it yet, right? So so what we will do now is we'll go back here and we'll accept this bid. Okay, so it's now showing you that, okay, do you want to accept the bid on VideoCoin white paper placed by Plain Snout? So I'm going to say yes. So now the transaction is going to be started to process. Now the two transactions that we're making are now atomically matched. But then you also have to pay for the gas fee. So because you're the seller, you're now minting the token and doing the transfer. So you have to pay for the fee. And also, like I said, we've now implemented a service fee, right? So 2.5% of the gas will be held as a service fee that is issued to the marketplace operator. So I'm going to confirm that. Now the NFT is getting transferred, right? Like this is the intercept process that I was talking about. Now the NFT is getting reforged because the metadata is getting pulled, the DRM keys are getting constructed, and all of the heavy lifting that I showed you in the 8-step process is going on now. And then the transfer will soon end, and you'll be able to view the white NFT. So now the transfer is done, right? Saying the transaction ID and transferred to the person who placed the bid, right? So now if I refresh this, I was this creator here, right? Like I can no longer see the NFT because it's saying purchase to unlock because I just now sold it. And I go back to my art here. It's no longer available for sale, right? But here, the VideoCoin white paper that I purchased from Plain Snout is available. Then now I can decrypt this with my keys and not the seller's keys, and now I can download this and view it. So again, this is such an exciting implementation. Everything works so seamlessly, right? So like all of the key exchanges, all of the uploads, all of the re-uploads, reforging, there's like a massive amount of work that happens in the backend, which is all asynchronous, does an atomic match, and all of that while maintaining compliance and compatibility with Ethereum Web3 wallets like MetaMask, and executing all of that within the browser. It's a huge accomplishment that we're extremely proud of. So that is that's the end of the demos that I had. So I will take some time to talk about what's coming next, right? So the thing we want to do is next mint on VID blockchain, right? And export to many locations. So presently in the alpha, you saw that all the minting was done on Ethereum compatible blockchains. We still will support that. But the way it's going to be done is through additional API calls, where you can easily take the NFT to any platform that you want. But there's a certain set of restrictions because of how rich the NFTs have become now. The way they're implemented with multi-asset, DRM, and all of that complex features built in. It gets really complex for existing marketplaces to just take the NFT and do justice to the way it looks. So that's why we have implemented some export functions coming up next. Support for 3D files. Right? So 3D files presently you can upload them as a binary file, and it'll just work using the same mechanisms that we showed. But we also want to add previews to those 3D files, so you can actually, let's say there's a game asset there's a loot box or something. So you can see the loot box closed as a 3D file, right? And then once you purchase it, there's a bunch of 3D files that you cannot see, but if you purchase it, you can see 8 different items in the loot box that wasn't visible before. And one other really big feature that we've been asked for is royalties. So we're working on a royalties feature where instead not just a service fee, but a royalty that gets paid on chain, step after step, right? Like let's say I am the creator and I create the content. Every time the NFT is sold, every time it changes hands, I as a creator will get some part of the fees. Now we're not stopping there. We're also making a very flexible way of getting royalties done, meaning we're adding a level of operation where you can add multiple operators. Those operators can choose how much of royalty each one of those operators get, how long they'll get it in block time, etc., etc. So we're working on an extremely flexible royalty implementation that should be coming up. And then we're working on something called as creator keys, where a creator can set keys so that he can control the destiny of the Filecoin, the file that is living on Filecoin, way after it was sold. Right? Like this seems like a counterintuitive NFT example, but imagine you creating an NFT and you had the copyrights, or you thought you had the copyrights, and then you created it, and then there is a DMCA takedown, and then you got to get rid of that NFT. If you don't comply within 24 hours, it becomes a huge problem. So in order to make room for such problems and use cases that are very common in enterprise customers, we're adding way more control for the creators, and a lot more features coming up. We have our next release planned in 4 more weeks. There's a lot of things that we have planned and ties up together what we have built so far. Some of these features that I described here will not make it to the next release, but this gives you a preview of what's coming up in the long-term horizon. And also in the short term, there's a network upgrade coming up because a lot of the DRM that we talked about has been implemented on the VideoCoin network on our developer networks. So those network needs to be, the dev VideoCoin network needs to be moved on to production, which basically means all of our workers need to upgrade their worker software. There's not going to be any restaking involved, but like all the workers need to update their software. We need to update our APIs on the production chain. So that's a complex process that we want to make sure goes through smoothly. So that's one thing that's coming up as a network upgrade. So that's it from my side for the demo. I am extremely thankful for all of you for joining this demo and then seeing what we've built and what we're up to. And I'll hand it over back to Jason. I'll do that by actually switching off my display, going back on Slack, and telling him that I'm done here.
I got it. I'll take it from
Unfortunately,
here.
that's how we have to do it on live streams when there's a slight lag. All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Devin, for walking us through beta and all the new features. Beta will be published today and can be found on the VideoCoin GitHub. That's github.com/VideoCoin. Thank you all for coming. Let's continue the conversation. Join us on Telegram on the VideoCoin official channel. This live stream will be available to rewatch on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you all for joining. Have a good day.